Starting things off really, really nicely in terms of your breeding sheep show out here today. I think all four of these young people have just brought us some nice quality ewes to evaluate. I think when it comes down to it, the one that just is that the sound is constructed, and so we'll step back just a little bit. I evaluate for three things, just like we did in our breeding show. Three things when I'm evaluating breeding stock, is built, so skeletal design, how they're constructed, how they're put together skeletally, their body shape, so their actual dimension, the roundness of rib, how wide they are at the surface and further up in their skeleton, and then their balance from the side. So, and I think that the young gentleman's UAM that starts off in class does those things that are right for me today. I think that she's maybe getting the best of it with a couple of steps now, and she's a little heavier than you, shoving you around a little bit. So if we can get her to present herself maybe just a little bit more correct on how those feet and legs are set right now, you guys will certainly see that she is just really comfortable, flexible, the best in terms of her spine and how things land together. I like how shallow chested she is. I think she's really bold around in her rib shape. She's super heavy muscled up top. Love the extra power and dimension that she's got. I think she is maybe a bit rib longer than she is tall, and that kind of throws off her balance ever so slightly, but I think one that is just really good quality and a nice place to start. Then the young lady coming up next, we definitely got one, not this year. There we go. The young lady coming up next has got the other most powerful sheep in my mind. I think this one's got a lot of muscle shape back into her leg, a lot of stoutness up top, one that is just really kind of explosive from their back. I really like her foot size, her bone, her feature, just kind of a nice presentation there. I really appreciate that about the sheep. I think for me, it's just she gets a little tight in that top, right? When the same lady definitely knows it. She gets in there, starts pushing that top down, but one that I think is really complete beyond that. You guys can go ahead and step on out. 1 and 2, go ahead. Okay, we'll just go ahead and go when I'm done talking about you guys. All right, young lady in 3. Nice. Good to go. Young lady in 3, I really love just the presentation of this gal. I think that she's got some pieces that I think are incredibly unique. I think she's really shapely in terms of the center portion of her leg. She's super shapely up front in terms of her forearm. I think she's got maybe a bit more color on her that is appropriate for this stage and age, and her eyes are a little looser, so that just kind of throws her off ever so slightly from that perspective. But I think where I really would like to correct this one is just how she sets that ankle into her. She really rolls to the outside of her foot with a little long faster in those back two. We'd like to correct her there, give her a shot more depth to her rear rib and the flank, which is why obviously they left a lot of belly wool on this one. And then laying rounding out the class has got a super broody sheep. She's big ribbed, she's soft maned, she's comfortable whenever she is asked to move, but she's maybe the one that just isn't quite as correct about the angle to her shoulder and her hip. She's pretty straight off both ends. You'd like to just kind of level her out from there and just give her a shot more power compared to the other ewes ahead of her in class today. Please give all 4 of those young people a nice hand.
In that first class of commercial ewe lambs, all of them receiving purples. In first place, we had Cody Hansen. In second, Nora Kirkpatrick. Third, Randy Davidson. And fourth, Cody Hansen. Okay, coming in short right now, our second group of commercial ewe lambs, each weigh between 120 and 127 pounds. We've got Mark Jacob. Owen White. Lauren Kirkpatrick, Roddy Nowhere, James Martin, University.
I think a really nice place to start up top here. We've got just a really good quality, complete type of sheep up here. She's really wide constructed. When you study her at the surface, she sets down square in front of all four corners. She's wide chested, she's round ribbed, really ball back to her pin set and ultra dimensional in just the muscle shape that she lays over top of that. And you appreciate that about her. I think that I really appreciate how athletic she is whenever she gets out and goes. I think she does kind of want to go a little bit fast in your front end. If you could slow her down a little bit on the front end when you're getting her going, because she tends to really get a little bit choppy whenever she gets going too fast, because she's a little bit shorter neck and a little bit straighter in terms of her blade. So I think slowing her down a little bit will help mitigate that. But I think one that maybe isn't quite as feminine as some of the other sheep in class today, but certainly the most complete, highest quality sheep. Pretty logical to start with her in my mind. Congrats to her. Young lady sheep coming out next certainly has the advantage in terms of femininity compared to the sheep ahead. She's longer and thinner in terms of her neck. She's a little bit neater in how that blade ties into the rest of her skeleton. Really kind of a long-sided, tall outline sheep, a little bit more performance than the sheep that beats her out today. But one that just isn't maybe quite as correct in terms of how those feet legs set into her. She gets a little bit long and awkward in terms of how that hip and her leg is set in. A little more set to her hop, a little late for pasture that I'd like to really correct, just to make her a bit better balance from the sides. Now, young gentleman dealing on the next is definitely one that is stout, is powerful, is big-footed, is big-boned, is round-ribbed, has got all kind of the extras in terms of brood view quality. He knows exactly what's maybe the biggest flaw in the sheep. If he keeps shoving that top down, she gets pretty tight from how that climb is laid into her, and I'd like to make her just slightly more comfortable whenever she's asked to get out and go in that perspective. And lady sheep, it really corrects the one in front of her in that perspective, stays a lot neater in terms of her trunk line, one that actually gets out and goes pretty fast. I just wish there was a lot more of that sheep. She gets the flattest and narrows in terms of rib cage shape, and the flattest and narrows when you study her from behind in terms of her pin set. Really nice set of sheep. Please give those in one nice hand.
Results in class number 2 are commercial U lines. Two purples, two blues. First place, we have Roddy Nowhere, sitting in purple. Second, purple, Nora Kirkpatrick. Third, blue, or white. And in fourth, Jacob Mark, the blue. First and second place plans and respectively, the pickup champion and reserve champion for that year.
quality has been really, really good. I think that all the kids and both of the classes brought us just good, good sheep from top to bottom that I think will be really, really useful in their own operations at home. So really, really nice job and congratulations to these kids. I think that there's a logical place to go for champion in my mind, and then when it comes down to it, it maybe is a bit more competitive for reserve, but I still think that the more skeletal quality in the one that I'm going to use for reserve. So audience, if you would please congratulate all these kids, give them a good hand, and we'll get your champion in reserve.
Okay, our champion commercial year goes to Riley Nowhere. She'll receive banner sponsored by SF Homelands. And our reserve goes to Cody Hansen. He will receive a banner sponsored by NSK.
Lamb Show. If you missed joining us for the market goes, I'll just kind of walk through real quick. My priorities or maybe tactics has changed just a little bit when we move into a market show, and I'm really kind of evaluating on two things, and that's this idea of product. So a lot of good muscle, and in the small ruminants, so we want them to be fairly trim, not have a ton of fat cover, and so we want them to be super, super shapely and big and heavy muscle, but not have too much of that fat taken away from the true end value product. So product is one, and then just overall balance. And balance kind of factors into their skeletal build, just their out of proportion from the side, and then just kind of that overall look that they have out here in the show ring. So between those two things, I think the young lady on the end over here lines up the most appropriate and complete from that perspective of things in my mind. I really appreciate the trimness of this guy. I think he's got a muscle shape, super, super big in terms of his leg, and now big in terms of his forearm. I think he's really got a tall shoulder, long-sided dude. It really kind of gives you a unique look in this group of weathers out here today. I really appreciate that about him. I think that he does need to be a little bit smoother in terms of how his shoulder sets in, so he gets a little bit coarse there, and then behind his shoulder, it's making him look a little bit flatter. In his forehead, his big shoulders making him look flatter than he is there, so it kind of goes off his balance ever so slightly. And I'd really like to change how we utilize his hip and leg in motion. Out of that, he really long faster and kind of makes him funky when he's really pushing him out. But nice place to start. Young ladies, blue sheep coming next is definitely the other one that is the most trim, fresh, youthful looking one in here, and I appreciate that about him. I think he's super muscle shape up top. Another one that maybe could stand to be a little bit lighter and a little bit smoother in terms of how his shoulder sets into him, and off the ground. Maybe give him a shot more actual rib shape, but I think that his advantage in terms of genuine endpoint value and how shapely his carcass will be on the rail right now is what I find his true advantage in putting in seconds. So nice job for that young lady. Now, some of it is the body differences as we move into the spec weathers, right? So some of them are just a little bit fatter, a little bit faster. These guys are, for the weight that they're at, they're kind of chubby. And that's my big takeaway from this guy. Whenever you kind of step into this next weather that's in here, I really appreciate how balanced he is from the side. I love it. I think that she's done a nice job at really getting presented up here today. He's really professional job to that. He's wide. He's got a lot of muscle on him. He just really looks plain and soft from the side. And his story's true whenever you go in and touch him. Really got way too much fat cover on him, especially for the sheep we're out here today. Probably the longer sided on the plains cattle sheep compared to the one in front of him, sets here in forward, really a tall shoulder, and she does a nice job of getting him stuck and presented out here today. I just really wish that he had maybe a shot more muscle from behind, and then really pulling back in terms of the fatness and just that cover that he's got out here today. Please give all four of these people a nice hand.
All right, in that class, level mark lambs, we've got 2 purples, 2 blues. First place goes to Randy Davison. Second in purple also is Audrey Case. And third, Lydia Forsythe. And fourth, Vivian Lynch. Class number 2 of our market lambs. These weigh between 128 and 134 pounds. Good. Audrey Case. Tori Burns, Lydia Forsythe, Riley Nowhere, and Mariska Kircher.
weight sheep across the board, but I think that kind of the one that really is just the best combination of that product and then just overall balance is the one that wins the class today. This one's probably the one that just is the best combination of actual muscle and fat out here for me today. Definitely has a little bit further to go in terms of ideal endpoints. It looks just a little bit raw in terms of his edges, especially up over that loin edge. But I think beyond that, this is just the highest quality sheep. This one's the oldest and squarest in terms of his rack shape, roundest and widest in terms of his rib cage shape, and back in from a super wide scout chest into a big scout wide pin set. I really appreciate just the actual muscle tone and touch that this guy has. It's really, really raw, hard touching, really, really shapely kind of sheep. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of how he handles that back leg in motion. I think he gets a little bit awkward and long faster, and then consequently compensates for wrapping his skeleton by kind of rounding out of that hip a little bit awkwardly. I'd love to see him just a bit more correct in how the hip and hind leg is assembled, but I think a really nice sheep, quality sheep to go ahead and start. Now I think the two sheep coming out in second and third are both sheep that have some quality to them. They're really big-footed, big-boned. I like just the tallness of shoulder and how they wedge back a little bit appropriately and level and straight in terms of their top line. You appreciate that of both the sheep, and the fact that they're two of the trigger sheep in the remaining group up here today. I think that for their size, though, they still got quite a bit of actual pound to put on. They're kind of the skinnier thin sheep out here, but I think when you actually get in and evaluate the differences between the two, and lady in second, I just prefer the rib shape of this guy. He looks like he'll be easier to feed and easier to get to that ideal end point. A little bit deeper back to his rear rib end point and just represents maybe a better feeding kind of sheep, which is why the blue sheep ends up in third instead of second for me tonight. Nice job to those two young ladies. Now we got a sheep that maybe a little bit further on in terms of actual finish out here today, but I think the one that's closer to being appropriate in terms of cover is the young lady's kind of largest speckled weather coming next. I like the balance of this guy from the side. Really long, strong top. There's a lot of actual muscle when you get your hand up in on that sheep. I appreciate that about him. Compared to the other sheep ahead, just a frailer, smaller footed kind of sheep that's just maybe not as up there in terms of ring presence compared to the other sheep. Then later rounding out the class, has got one that I think has got a really, really big rib cage shape. I like the dimension, like the big chest width on this dude. Really just need to back that one off in terms of back cover for the weight of the crowd out here today. Give a shot more muscle from behind. Please give all those young people a nice hand.
All right, in that class number 2 of Market Lamb, receiving a purple, we have Riley Nowhere. Others receiving blues, Audrey Case, second, third, Troy Burns, fourth, Lydia Forsyth, and fifth, Marissa Kircher. Coming in now, we have class number 3 of our Market Lambs. These weigh between 138 and 140 pounds. Leading off, we have Randy Nowhere, Marissa Kircher, Jacob Mark, and Lydia Forsyth. Class 3 of our Market Lambs.
have done an excellent job at getting fed and presented out here today. It's a lot of work to get a project done from beginning to end, and I think they've done a nice job with that. The place that's logical to go in my mind is the sheep that starts out the class today. That is just the big, heavy muscle, product-oriented, super shapely, super fresh sheep out here today. And then beyond that is just in a really quality package. I appreciate, really like the look of this sheep when she gets him stuck and propped up. It really kind of levels out, just how that spine kind of sets into him, and then you really kind of see that a little bit whenever he gets out and pulls to lead. And the reason she's got him going so quick out here today is because then maybe we'll miss that spine that kind of crawls up a little bit ever so slightly. So it's smart move as a showman to get that going, and that's where I would alter that sheep, is just give him a little bit more softness in the center portion of that spine, because he does get a little bit tightened up in there, and then consequently kind of brings those pins up under him to meet the rest of his stride whenever he gets out and goes. But being critical on just a really good quality shapely sheep to go ahead and start the class out here today. Now, young lady speckled-faced weather coming next is one that I think is really good balance from the side. I think that there is a big old honking hip in this dude. I really appreciate just the extra muscle and finish it that she's got on this one. I think she's done a nice job out of all the ones that we brought us today. This is the one that's probably the trimmest and most perfect in terms of finish out here today. So really nice job at kind of holding back on that one here. Maybe not the stoutest bone, heaviest footed, heaviest featured one out here today, but in my mind, just the most balanced sheep of the remaining trio up here today that is still trimming out for where he's at. So nice job to her. The young lady over to Lamb coming next has got one that is really big rib. There's some muscle, there's some dimension, there's definitely more foot and bone size than the sheep that beats her today. But unfortunately, ewes get chunkier faster, right? And that's where this little lady's at today. She's pretty soft, and you can see her actually get out and kind of jiggle a little bit when she goes. You really like to pull her back, freshen her out, and let her wrap her hip. Now, the young lady rounded out the class today has done a really good job of getting a big old tall outline sheep kind of manhandled up here today. Love how tall he is in the shoulder, love the length of hind saddle that he's got. This one just needs to be more correct skeletally and backed off with a finished standpoint in my mind that considers politics and things around. Please give all those young people a nice hand.
All right, in class number 3, we have 2 blues, 2 purples, 2 blues. First place goes to Shandy Nowhere. Second place, Lydia Forsyth in purple. Preceding blues, Jacob Mark and Marissa Gertrude preceding in blue. Coming in now, we have class 4 of our market lambs. These weigh between 141 pounds and 150 pounds. We have Randy Davidson, Adriana Resch, Robbie Nowhere, Audrey Case, and Shandy Nowhere.
up top to evaluate it. I love just when you get ones that are just comparable in terms of quality, mass, power, all the other things, and just skeletal design beyond that. I think it's really, really fun to get in, and this is where you can say that they meet all of your standards for everything, and you can kind of get in and just sort on your personal preferences, right? And I think that when it comes down to it, I think the blue sheep just suits me a little bit better because I'm a gal that loves power, right? I grew up getting into cattle, so kind of where that it comes out evident is just in these market animals. You get the one that's really, really complete in terms of look from the side, and then just has a shot more everywhere in terms of power. This is the bigger bone, bigger footed one that just has more actual shape down in the lower portion of his leg. He's big, he's stout, he touches fresh. I do think that this is probably the one that maybe doesn't get out and move maybe as fluently as the one in second does, because he does kind of tend to just break ever so tightly in terms of that center portion of his spine, and that loin just maybe doesn't want to hook him quite as comfortably as he'd like it to. But I think that this is just the overwhelming power sheep of the class, and it is just a little bit on my flavor. Now, not to take anything away from the one second, because that is an awfully good quality sheep as well. That one is crazy, opened up underneath, super huge in terms of pin set and power. When you study that one from behind, that one is ultra big, and it is probably actually bigger in terms of his actual rib cage shape and top than the sheep that wins the class today. This one just, for me, doesn't get quite as powerful and quite as out there in terms of his holiness and design. He is the smaller footed, lighter bone one that just doesn't have quite as much gas when you get further down into his lower leg shape, and is maybe not quite as shifted when he's cutting in his actual gut from the side. He likes to back off just a little bit, especially you can kind of see that in his rear end and down into that softness that he's got in his flank for me personally. But that is the more collected one whenever you actually get those sheep out mass and lead. Now, the young lady sheep in third, she's done a really nice job with a sheep that's really one-sided. I love the length behind saddle of this one. She does a good job of being patient with a teammate that maybe doesn't want a teammate today. That's a shapely sheep that's got plenty of muscle. I think there's the size and scale of that sheep, that one needs to have more power and would just cracked apart from that perspective. But I think that when you talk about power, then the one in fourth really kind of comes back with some of that. There's a lot more muscle shape in terms of rear rib and flank. One that is just maybe cracked apart, a bit wider constructed, but definitely one that kind of gets over in terms of finish for me today. A little longer spine, really also kind of throws off the arms from the side. One of the two big areas that I'd like to alter on that sheep because they're softens and legs around. Now, I think probably one of the taller outlines, longer-sided sheep stands in fifth. Really done a nice job of getting them presented out here. I like the foot size and the bone on this dude. I just really wish that his rib shape really got deeper and more progressive in terms of his spine line. And I'd really like to square out this hip shape and give him a shot more muscle from behind. Please give all those young people a nice stand. people have done a nice job at bringing us animals that are really good in terms of their rib type. They have muscle, they have dimension, they have all the things that you want in a market animal. And I think the management style has just been a little bit different for these. Honestly, both of them are too fat. We'll call it a wash on that front of things and just move on to the other. I just prefer the added skeletal quality of the sheep that starts off the class. And you gentlemen brought us a sheep that's just really, really tall shoulder, one that really is level. Further back into his dock and really kind of square in terms of how he sets things down. I do think that maybe if you're going to be critical on him and just in where he's at today, obviously he needs to peel back quite a bit from a finish perspective. But I would also like to change just how long he is in terms of those pasterns. I like to just shorten those up, square those out, and just give him a little bit more confidence at the surface whenever he's getting out and going. But a nice place to start our class. Now, young lady Speckweather coming in second is definitely, like I said, all those things about him. Big rib, one that's really soft made, looks like he was easy game and wide constructed deal. Just a little bit frailer in terms of his bone work, and then maybe a bit more rigid about how he moves those rear two in motion. So kind of where I split the pair. Nice job to those two young people. Please give them a hand.
Okay, in that class, market lambs, we've got first place goes to Owen Wright, receiving purple. Second place, Brooke Burns. And while Brooke's still in here, I want to point out that was top rated game. She will receive a, I believe, banner sponsored by Nottoway Family Chiropractic. So congratulations to Brooke on her top rated game. Was a champion in that class, and Brooke was reserved. They will be back in just a minute for our champion, Mark Lance. Coming in now, our show ready, we will pick our champion and reserve champion, Martin Lance. As we got him lined up here, our first place in that first class, we have Randy Davidson. Our second group, Riley Nogar. Third group, Shandy Nogar. The fourth group, we have Shandy Nogar. And the last group, Owen Wright. Then our reserves, Audrey Case. That's also another one, class 2. And class 3, Lydia Holstein, reserve. Ronnie Nover, reserve out of class 4. And class 5, Brooke Burns, reserve. So out of these, we'll pick our champion and reserve champion, Mark Lance.
out here today. I love just seeing the numbers that we've got out here. Beyond that, I think it's appreciative. Hopefully everybody in the audience really just appreciates the quality of the sheep that the kids have brought us today, not only in the market show, but also in the BU show as well. I think that each one of these has a place in each one of these young people's operations at home and represent each one of them extremely well. So congratulations to all the young people out here. I think when it comes down to picking a champion in reserve, there's two of them in my mind that just really fit together. You know, peanut butter and jelly out here kind of complement each other. Really just good quality sheep to sort through. So audience, if you would, please give all these market land exhibitors a nice hand. We'll get your champion in reserve.
Congratulations to our champion market man goes to Shanny Middleware, and reserve goes to Bradley Middleware. Shanny will receive a banner sponsored by Right Five Farms, and Riley will receive a banner sponsored by Galen's Repair. As I announced earlier, up in Wilborn Hall in Clover Cafe, the south part of Wilborn Hall, they're having lunch, so if you're looking ahead a little bit, they've got burgers, hot dogs, chips, and drinks. And they also have a special today is smoked chicken wraps. And, of course, it's air conditioned. So we're looking forward to lunch. Head on up to Wilborn Hall. Again, I'd like to acknowledge our today's sponsor. You can see the banner on the north end, Page County Farm Bureau. So we certainly appreciate them sponsoring today's activities. Coming in now, we have two pairs of three. We have Audrey Case and Lydia Forsythe as an entry.
All right, I really like judging these like pen or group classes whenever fairs have them. I appreciate the fact that some fairs still continue to do those. Usually they're maybe a county or a club group, and I think it's super impressive that it's two individual young ladies that have brought these groups out to us. So it is, it's a lot of work to get one project ready and at the end point that you want them at, but it's even more work to have a string of them like these two young women do out here today. So I really appreciate their work and their efforts out here to bring as many heads as they each did to evaluate in our market land show today. So when we evaluate groups of animals, I'm really looking for two things, and one is the quality of the animals within the group, right? So where we're at and relative to the industry compared to their quality, where they're at there. And two is uniformity, right? Because when you do a group, you got to make sure that you kind of got a load that will fit together, a set that really looks like they belong in the same operation. And I think both these two young ladies have done a nice job at both of those things. There's maybe one group out here that just sits together maybe a bit more sensible in my mind, just kind of fit together nice and makes sense as a trio out here today. So we're going to go ahead and use the young lady with the speckle face group over here on the end to win your class. Please give both these young ladies a nice hand.
Okay, our champion finish 3 goes to Lydia Forsythe, and reserve goes to Audrey Case. Lydia will receive a banner sponsored by Gated Repair, in addition to a ribbon, and reserve will receive a banner sponsored by White 5 Farms. Coming in next in our showmanship contest, we'll start with the seniors.
first, I'm looking for somebody that gives me a really good first impression, right? Somebody that's got the eye contact from the get-go, they are ready, their animal is ready, and they give you a really, really good positive first impression. They know where they're at, they continue to really just kind of give you a good first few steps into the ring. They look like they have their game face on, they're ready to play, they're really professional, their posture is good, so really, really good first impression can do a lot of things right for you. And a bad one can really hinder you throughout the rest of your class, so make sure it's a good first impression. Number two, I'm looking for somebody that is really quick and efficient in getting their animal presented while still knowing kind of all the ring smarts, right? So making sure that you're straight in mind, that you're giving yourself enough space, either on the fence or between the animal in front of you or behind you, that you're really, really quick and efficient in getting that animal set and presented the exact way that you want to, and then somebody that's fairly consistent in getting that animal presented, so making sure we're not forgetting about our feet after we get them stopped and stuck for the first time. And then number three is I'm looking for somebody that can do those two really, really hard things and make it look really easy and effortless. Somebody that's just cool, calm, collected, and super, super effortless. So all of these young people out here are doing an awesome job, and I really, really appreciate the numbers that we have out here in our senior sheep showmanship, and even the amount of kids that were in the goat showman as well. So there are a lot of things that you guys could be choosing to do with your time at this, especially at this age. You're old enough for part-time jobs or full-time jobs, and you guys are choosing to do livestock and to be in the barn this summer, and I really, really appreciate that about you guys. So continue to do that and be really good examples for the younger kids coming up, because people in my position want to hire kids like you, so make sure you guys are continuing with this. There's nothing better in my opinion, so really thank you guys for doing that. Congrats to you guys for that. So when it comes down to selecting a senior showman, I think that each one of them has maybe a little bit different style out here. Some of us maybe have a little bit more ring experience than others, and that's okay, right? Everybody's got, like I said, a first show, and everybody's got a 25th show. Just keep working at it, working with your animals at home. You're going to be great teammates today. You guys are being really good at being calm and patient with them out here. Really appreciate that. I think that the showman that I've got as my champion does an excellent job and is really, really quick, efficient, and makes it look easy out here today. I probably prefer her actually showing down off of the Sioux Lamb because her top line holds a bit better together. But a really nice job to the young lady at the end. Please give them all a nice hand.
Okay, congratulations to Riley Nowhere, our champion senior showman. We'd like to hold up Randy Davidson, but I wanted to point out that Randy Davidson was second in the rated game, and she'll receive a banner sponsored by Card Room and the Curling Iron. That's the champion rated game, Randy Davidson.
All right. Well, we may only have one intermediate, but I think she does a really, really nice job. It just obviously spends a lot of time at home working on these things and has a lot of experience. So really appreciate the fact that she's choosing to still do her county fair, because a lot of kids that maybe have a bit more experience like this kind of move on and only do some of those larger shows. And I really appreciate the fact that they're still coming out here and participating in your county fair, because I think these are the people at home that support you. So really appreciate that about her coming out and doing this. She does a really nice job of getting this guy stuck. I think when she gets him stopped and propped up, I think that is really, really where he looks his best. She does a nice job at knowing exactly where those feet need to go, exactly how much pressure to put on the front end of him to get him to actually line up and put things together nice. He kind of back just to the beat of his own drum whenever he's out moving around and kind of just tooling around on his own pace. But she does a really nice job at getting him presented and continuing to work with him. As it's tough to be the only small ruminant out in the ring, regardless, but when you have one that just would rather do his own deal to begin with, I think that's challenging. So really nice job to her. Very nice job for continuing to come out and stay presented. Congratulations. Audience, please give your champion, your intermediate showman, a nice hand.
Okay, congratulations to Shandy Nowhere, our intermediate showman. She will receive a plaque, as well as her sister Roddy did for the seniors. Okay, our last class today in the sheep show, we've got our junior division showman. So juniors, come on into the show arena, please. We're finishing up here. Let's give Connie Ujong a big hand for coming over and doing a great job with our show today. She's coming over from Lincoln, Nebraska. We certainly appreciate it, Connie.
our two junior sheep showmen out here are doing a really nice job of getting their animals presented. The fun part is they know what they wanted to do, and they're trying to figure out how to get there. And it's fun to watch when they're just kind of learning and figuring out the show how to get their animals managed out here. So you guys are doing a good job at managing your animals at home. Part of that is all the practice you guys are putting into it. So good job with that. I really appreciate how even if they're not being the best teammates, you guys are being calm and patient with them. I was not patient when I was your guys' age, so I really admire that in you guys. So continue to do that. I think that give them each a piece of homework and kind of taught them one thing that they can practice for next time and work on at home when they're ready to go. I think when it comes down to it, there's one showman out here that maybe just knew a little bit more of where they're supposed to go and what they're supposed to be doing, even if her teammate maybe wasn't quite teaming with them as well as they would like them to. So go ahead, audience, give these two a nice hand. We'll get you a champion.
Okay, our champion junior showman is Audrey Kay, so congratulations to her and all the showmen today. That pretty well concludes our goat and sheep show this morning, but again, we